fellow gamers. Hello, friends. Welcome back to The Infected. We're going to get right back into it today with some building. Today's going to be a building episode. Probably be quite a few cuts. We're going to work on gathering some building materials. Might have to hit a POI or something just to get some mechanical parts. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we have enough, but it might come down to that. We're also going to try and get some cobalt so that we can get our new saw bench up and running, because that's going to help an awful lot. Let's get into it. Now that we're getting into the bigger tech, the taller tech on the tree, things are going to move a lot faster. Like we had saw benches before that do 2 boards at a time. The circular saw bench does 4, and it can hold 10 logs at a time. Actually, it can hold 11 if you put the 10th one on while there's one being sawed. And it's all automated. You don't have to do anything with it. You just have to put the wood in there. And it makes it a lot easier to get large amount of boards very fast. The downside, of course, is you run through logs really fast. But if you have sufficient resources, it is not a problem. So one of the things we're going to notice right away is this is not going to be enough. There's not going to be enough room for us, for our operation, for much longer. In fact, it's already kind of small and cramped in here. So we're going to have to do something about that. We need to find our... Ooh, only 4 mechanical parts? I don't like that. I don't love that. We might actually have to do more grinding in terms of mechanical parts, because we haven't been getting very lucky with that. Now, there is a tech at the trader that you can buy that will allow you to create a scorpion. Could be a scorpion. I'm not going to screw with it. There is a tech at the trader that allows you to make those kinds of things, but we are not really in a position to do that. I think we have some tech points. I don't think it's... Yeah, okay, exactly. So circular saw bench is something we're going to need, like absolutely going to need. So we're going to take that. And what else do we want? Do we have the greenhouse? Yeah, we do. Okay, we have the greenhouse. Loom. We have the loom. Stove, solar battery, fridge. Fridge is tempting. The thing Oh, we're gonna need the chemistry table, so we're gonna take that one for sure. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna check these boxes. I don't remember whether I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually encouraging, because if we didn't empty the truck, we got a lot of stuff to put in the house before we could decide one way or the other whether we need to go and get more resources. I'm thinking we're going to need to, though, because I know we got some mechanical parts, but we didn't get a ton of them, guys. So first and foremost, we're going to empty the truck, take all the stuff out of the boxes, and we're going to look at where we sit after that. Now, here we go. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Alright, so one of the other things we're going to do is we're going to make a whole bunch of steel ready to forge. Okay. This is going to be good. Yeah, so we're going to throw the nails in there, exactly. Why can't I... There we go. Weird. Clicky wasn't clicking. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to... What the... Okay, that was weird. I think my mouse has been possessed, guys, or something. Keyboard maybe. Something's been possessed. I don't like it. It's got to be possession. My computer would not turn against me like this, right? I mean, probably would. I mean, that's absolutely something that would happen to me. But, you know. Oh, the slow trudge. Thought he could run from me. He was wrong. Okay. So we're going to come in here, and we are going to make as many of the steel alloys as we can. That's actually a pretty good number of them. It's almost 10 of them. Nice. And again, ooh, hello. That's another 5. That's okay though. Let's see. Did I have any other stuff away in random corners? I should check that. No, I did not. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm quite satisfied that that was not the case. Oh, steel alloy. Okay. Take those. So, steel alloys, again, in case some of you are just joining us, or some of you are a little confused as to why I'm so worried about it. Steel becomes relevant later in the game, which, I mean, some of you might be like, well, but why do we need to worry about it now? If it only becomes relevant later. These little iron ores, you have to get by looting, or getting really lucky with the extractor, which we are close to building, but you have to get lucky, guys. And if you don't get lucky, it can be really hard to effectively stockpile those ores. So you want to do that as early as you can. Again, really early. Like, you don't want to leave it till last minute. Because if you need the steel and you don't have it, it's already going to set you back quite some time. So we're just going to head that off at the pass. And by the way, we're going to wind up being short steel at some point anyway. This just means we're not going to be as short of steel as we could otherwise be. So, yeah. Alright. I'm going to take all that. Yeah, sure, that looks about right. Nice, nice. 16 mechanical parts. Oh, you love to see it. Mechanical points are going to be, or parts are going to be our choke point for a little while. More so because they can be a little more difficult to come by. What do we got in here? For plastic. Not a lot. We're going to move that over. And we're going to move that there. Yeah, we'll put those in there. Eventually we're going to get to the point where we're making a ton of boxes and we're making an organizational system. That will come. It hasn't come yet, but it will. We are going to take the chair with us. That's still coming with us, but we're not going to... We need to realign the boxes so that we can fit more of them in there. We got 99 issues and storage is one of them. It's kind of crazy. And I do remember that last episode we discovered that we badly need more water capacity. I haven't forgot about that. And there is one thing that we need to do right away. We need the loom. Where is the loom? Loom. There we go. Again, much like most of the rest of the time, we need iron ingots, wood logs, plant fiber, and nails. We should have just about all of that. There we go. Alright, sweet. Oh, we're overheating. Oh, my God, okay. Well, that would be why. So that'll probably be the next tech that we wind up getting is the clothing rack, which I think is like, it's under the shelves. Alright. I can't remember what we needed this to craft, though. I think it was clothing. Oh, no, that's right. We need it for the backpack. This is probably going to be what we're going to go for this next. Right after we make a steel ingot. And we're just going to make the one. Actually, pickaxe head. Yeah, it's weird, guys. So, steel spear tip, only weapon that requires steel. Strange. Oh, you know what? I think there was a reason that we were wanting the loom. Because, yeah, we need the quiver and the backpack, obviously. Okay. That's okay. That's why we have that. At this point, we basically have our endgame spear. Oh, we need the advanced workbench. Good thing we just took that tech. Okay, so what does the advanced workbench need then? Iron, copper. Oh, man. Okay, so we're not getting a steel spear yet. Not yet. But we have the spearhead for when we are ready for it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a couple of planks. And the one thing we are going to do right now, mineral extractor. So it takes 18 iron ingots, 8 planks, and nails. And we are actually going to put that right there. And we're going to put another one there. So the more of these you have, the easier it is to get large amounts of minerals. And that's going to be important really quick here, actually. So, iron ingots. How many of those can we get currently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could melt those, but we're going to try not to. Okay, so we could get 6. We could get 6. That is not what we're going to do, though. What we are going to do is we're going to pull all these. So now you may be thinking to yourself, why are we fussing about with all this iron? Good question. Everything in this game, pretty much, is going to take iron in some form or another. Everything. You will spend most of the game probably refining iron. And you're also going to spend a very, very large percentage of the game refining wood. Now, there are simple, reasonable ways to refine wood, but not really iron. So our main objective is to get this operational as soon as possible. And that's going to allow us to start pulling in other resources like aluminum, cobalt, and copper. And just to show you why that's important, we're going to go to our most recently acquired tech here. That tab. So that's the electric circular saw bench, which requires copper ingots, mechanical parts, electrical parts, da-da-da-da. This requires 2 cobalt ingots, which means if we have 2 extractors, which we won't have to start out, but if we did, we could put down one of these tables in 10 minutes from when we build the extractor. And I'll show you why that is once we actually get that operational. For now, what we need is rocks. Lots of rocks. Rocks are going to be the bane of our existence for a while. We are going to go ahead and place the schematic, though, for that. Look at how huge that is. This is going to be an outside thing, most likely, for a little bit. If you got 2 of these, you will pretty much never run out of... you'll almost never run out of wood. I always get the electric circular saw bench, but I don't think I've ever actually placed one down. Which is really weird. Why does this need electrical? Whatever. Alright, electrical, mechanical. Alright. So again, the cobalt is going to be the hard part of this equation. We're going to need way more of that. Alright, that's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I even have ink? Oh my. I hate this. I hate everything about this. This is the worst part of the game, right here. This moment. This is the worst. Because what you really want is to get this thing up and operational. And as soon as you place it down, you want to start it running. And you can't. That's the worst part. It is the absolute worst part. And one thing you're going to notice about me, guys, when it comes to certain things in video games, I don't have a lot of patience. I don't. Waiting for resources to refine is one of those areas. It's a weak point of mine. And right now, all I want to do is melt down all these iron ores that we have, these ones. That is the only thing that I want to do right now. It's like an itch in my brain that won't go away. No matter how hard I try. Okay, we're only going to throw 5 of those in there because... stop it. 2. We have one more rock. Can we do that? No, of course we can't. But yeah, it's like an itch in my brain that I just can't scratch. It drives me crazy waiting for refining processes. I'm trying to get better. So as much as I want to smelt down those iron bars, I really shouldn't. I really should not. I should be patient. I should wait for it. And I don't want to. I don't. But I have to. Well, I don't have to, but I really should. We're going to go to bed. Alright. So we need 8 more iron ingots. And we have 3 worth of iron fragments. So we get to go rock hunting today. So stone crates, something I've been saying for a while that we needed to get our hands on. And we do. Don't get me wrong. Stone crates will allow us to harvest larger amounts of stone. We're going to take the cart because gas is a little precious. And, yeah. You fit 2 of these bad boys on your cart at a time. There we go. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to fill them both up. We're going to bring them back here. And we're going to start smelting in a large way. Because just like we needed for the first one, for the second extractor, we are also going to need 18 iron ingots. That is going to take a bit. That is, of course, 5 rounds of the furnace per extractor, basically. Now, the beautiful thing about these is you can move them as well, and you can take them from in here in the cave to out here. There we go. And you know what? There we go. And when you do that, they change their production. So inside the cave, they can extract cobalt, copper, and aluminum. You can set them to extract a set resource or a random one, in which case they will also extract random stone. And I think they can extract like iron fragments, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I've never tried it because if you put them out here, they can get stone, iron, or iron fragments. And yes, if they're outside in the open here, they can, in fact, extract iron ore. It's rare. It's a very low drop. But you can get it. That's how you make your steel in larger quantities. But you need, like, I would say 4 to 8 of them to make that a reasonable extraction process. So you're going to be building a lot of extractors. Well, can I even make? Nah, we need the advanced workbench before we can do any of that. Okay, that's fair. Fair enough. One of the things we're going to need is crocodile skins. We are going to take the truck for that. Oh my freezing. Where? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Ooh, water pipes. Nice. Okay. Weird. Bizarre. Yeah, so it just told me I was freezing, guys. I think I'm like one plastic short, which is actually unfortunate because I would like to have a cooler. Which I don't have. In terms of... would you please? Could you kindly? No? Okay. Is this as far over? No, of course it's not. I mean, at this point, I don't even really care about the livers or the meat much, but the livers are kind of important. Oh my goodness. I wonder. No. That's a little silly, but it does work. I don't love this. That takes an awful lot of room. You know what? No. We'll deal with that later. What do I need for a butcher's table? 10 ingots? Yeah, well... I suppose once I get the first extract. Okay. Alright, fair enough. So once we get the first extractor running, that's when we're going to worry about the... that's when we're going to worry about the butcher's table. The livers are important. They're not as important as you might think, but we're going to need at least one fresh one to go and heal Mike. You can recruit Mike at any time if you have a place to keep him, which we don't. But I'm thinking we might want to do that sooner rather than later. So these crates for stone, I think, can carry 50 rock. Like 50 stone. You need 50 stone. Which is good. That is a huge haul of stone. Definitely not something that you could easily carry without these rock boxes. Also, that's like, I think 10 iron ingots worth in every box, like every full box. So you can get a reasonable amount of iron ingots out of a box of rocks pretty quickly. right? And extractors are actually pretty efficient at it. They'll get you a rock a minute per extractor that you put that way, or that you set to that setting. However, it will only generate you rocks, and you cannot set it to anything else. If you pick what an extractor is going to give you, it will take 10 minutes, and if you have it on random, it will generate one resource every 5 minutes, and it totally depends. Like, it's random luck of the draw. If you leave it on stone only, it will give you 1 stone every minute. So if you're looking for stone, like if you need a lot of stone, a couple of extractors will do you really good. You don't even need a whole ton of them in order to make it worth your while either, because frankly, once you get rolling with them, you're going to passively generate those rocks, and you're not going to worry about it. Like, it's not going to be a huge deal for you. Once you get going, you're just going to, you're going to run them while you're not at the base. And so, while you're out and about the world, they're going to be generating you rocks. You probably come home to a full bin of rocks like every day. So, you don't need more than that, because you're going to have to refine all that, and that can get complicated, if you don't have a plan, right? Otherwise, at that point, you're just generating iron fragments, and, you don't really have a reason. I find it more useful to generate random items when they're outside. You're going to get a fair amount of rocks anyway. I suppose you could build 3 and have 2 running random and maybe 1 dedicated to rocks. You could probably do that. You'd probably get a fair amount of rocks, but you'll get a decent amount of everything else too. It's up to you though. It's your playthrough. My recommendation is probably the 2-in-1. That probably makes the most sense. Alright, so we should be well on our way. We got 3 in here. We got 4 cooking. We need 8 more. Yeah. So we'll run a couple more, or 1 more cycle of these. And do we need planks for this? No, we don't. Oh my goodness, and we are starving. Oh hell. Okay. Why do we have any water in here? This is the point in the game where you start to get busy, where time management is often problematic. So we are going to go and hit the one POI that. So there's 2 reasons that we want to go and try and do that. First and foremost, another tech page would be nice, because it'll allow us to get those clothing racks, and then we can get those clothes out of the boxes, because they take up a ton of room. That would be nice. The other thing that we want is another plastic, because if we get another plastic, we can start storing stuff, food stuff specifically. Where is... What do with all the other fragments? There we go. Alright. Yeah. But we need 1 more plastic for that. Before we leave, I do want to finish up the extractor. We're going to need... I don't remember if it takes 2 or 3 to hit the optimal level for this thing, but this thing's gonna go for like ever once we start it up. We're gonna force it to extract cobalt. Do I need iron for this thing? Yeah, of course I do, naturally. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We're about to get those finished. I need 8 ingots. We're just going to clear some room in this box here. Okay, so cobalt only. Alright, see, so that gives us there. That'll do fine. So we turn it on. It will now extract only cobalt, but it will only do so every 10 minutes. By the time we come back, hopefully, we will have the cobalt needed. So I told you we're going to head to a location where we'll be able to get a specific item. That item is going to be the aluminum canteen. Hopefully also, actually, on that note, we're going to grab all the plastic we have, because if we get enough, we're just going to drop a cooler in the truck on site. So the cooler prevents the meat, or really anything in it, from spoiling, like ever. It will prevent the spoiling of any food that's in it. Now, that comes with a caveat, though. Ooh. You know what? I wonder if... Yeah, no. We hit that too recently. Haha! Oh, look at that gas gauge, guys. Oh. This thing handles like a boat, but since it's a tank I can't get hurt in, I suppose there's a trade-off, right? I don't think vehicles take damage in this game. And don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for that, because holy, my cars have never lasted a day. At least in this game. I mean, if we're being honest, the handles are not great on any vehicle in this game. I don't mind that necessarily. But I don't love it. Oh god, we need a plastic, guys. Let's hope we pull one. Now, we are right on the outskirts of the big city. And I call it the big city because that's exactly what it is. Like, it's a big city. There's like skyscrapers and everything. Well, not, I guess not in the traditional sense. But like taller buildings with multiple floors. And oh my god, we are not getting lucky with the plastic. Oh, there we go. Okay. Actually, kind of. I'm super glad for that. Okay. So, I don't think we can build the cooler on the truck. Alright, Yeah, no. Okay. So we can't build it there, but we can place it there. There we go. There we go. We got our cooler in the truck. And now if we get any livers, we don't have to worry about wasting them. Again, the liver is the important part because it's part of the antidote for Mike. And it's probably the hardest part to get. Not because, you know, livers themselves are super difficult to find, but more because by the time you get back to your base, especially, you know, depending on where you've set up shop, the liver will have gone bad. And that's just, you know, that feels bad, honestly. You know? So this particular city right here, I'll show you where we are. This maze of roads right here, that is the big city. Like there's lots of buildings there and all that other good stuff. There is no tech here. The developer himself said when he put it in, there is not any tech. I have never found tech in this city. Those gas stations, though, that we were just at, I have found tech there once or twice. Technically, they are considered part of the city. But they were also a pre-existing thing. I'm not sure if that's a conflict that he just hasn't sorted out yet. But at one point there, I did find a couple tech there after he put in the big city. That could also be, though, that it was a file that I had played like once before that particular update came out. I didn't find any in there today, but there was still that house up on the ridge that we just didn't go and hit, because literally the only thing I was looking for was the cooler. That's not where we want to go. Where we want to go is right there. Alrighty. This, I don't even know what this would technically be. Go to sleep. I don't know how they don't get alerted to this big old red truck rolling up on them at a slow speed. It's kind of funny to watch, though, I'm not gonna lie. We built another one back here, didn't we? Yeah. That right there is where we want to go. Do we have anything to eat? Yeah, we do. Potatoes, potatoes. We are going to walk away from here probably with a fair amount of food specifically. However, what we're really after is the canteen. And tech. Now, these buildings here are fairly difficult to get into and out of, like, with any kind of secrecy. Oh, good. This is the building. I usually find, yeah, exactly. There we go. Tech found. Tech is good. I don't necessarily need to find all the tech, but one is good. One is really good because that will allow us to get the storage racks and will allow us to do things like that. More plastic. And we're chocolate. See, and this is where the backpack would come in clutch, and we just don't have it right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna walk away from this once we get the canteen, or whatever the hell it is. I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like an aluminum, like modern water bottle. And the only reason I checked this building at all was with 3 iron fragments. That's not too shabby. And some electrical parts. The only reason I truly checked this building at all was because in the courtyard, and I just want to make sure that. Uh-oh. I think we're in the wrong zone? No, because it's over there. Okay. Oh my god, he's ADD. Free kill! Oh. Plastic and aha. Okay, so over here, yes. Take all. There we go. That's the thing we came for, guys. Right there. Now, I'd be a fool if I didn't at least try to loot some of this, but if it gets hairy or, you know, it just becomes an impossibility to keep going, we are absolutely bailing on this. We have what we needed, have what we came for, and we don't need to stick around and die to prove that we can loot stuff. So we'll see what this particular POI has to offer. And ooh, iron ore, nice. And from there, we're just gonna bail. I'm not gonna loot the rest of this place, mostly because you know, the one thing that we actually needed and came for is now in our possession. But yeah, this particular, I'm going to call it a city. This particular city has tech. The big one does not. And again, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be a forever thing. I know that when the developer first dropped the big city, what he had told the YouTubers was they was going to continue to work on it, but he didn't think that he was actually going to put tech in there, which is fair. To be fair, all the tech that's in the game, you can, like, even between the locations that are already in the game, melon seeds. I want to make sure I have those. Between all the locations that are in the game, you can already get all the tech. Like, you don't need extra locations, right? And honestly, I'm kind of, if he didn't change that, I'm kind of glad for that, because I'm gonna be honest, that city is kind of confusing. You can get turned around and it's a continuous spawn of Vandies. It's easy to get turned around in there when you're trying to dodge them and loot buildings and, take stuff to and from your... It's way more complicated than it needs to be. I don't want to have to search every building myself to try and find that one tech page that may or may not even be there. I'd rather go there for the loot. And by the way, it is the best loot spot in the game. Simply by virtue of having so many loot containers. There is no comparison. This one's a good second. I will say that. But it is just that. It is a second. The loot in the big city, top tier, top shelf, as it should be. It's also probably one of the most dangerous areas of the game. So, again, high risk, high reward. I'm all for that. Yeah. We've got a few rivers. That's good. Oh, and we're chocolate. Yeah, okay. That is the cool thing about the cities, though, is you're going to find a lot of plastic, a lot of mechanical parts. Eventually, I think probably in everybody's playthrough, everybody's going to wind up going through there at some point. You're either going to love it or hate it. Take it slow. Don't force speed, because that'll get you killed. There are more than enough Vandies running around here that, if you go to at a reckless pace, it will get you killed. And that's the straight truth. Although at least they don't tend to patrol the inside of the buildings. So if you can get to the inside of a building, you're fine. Generally. Empty. Oh, nothing in this apartment. Holy. There. We're gone. This was supposed to be a building episode, so really the only reason that we came out here at all is because we actually needed something that this place had. Alright, so it's back 434. We don't really have anything we could sell though. That's probably the hardest thing about this game, guys, by the way, is there's not much worth selling in this game. You can sell croc skins for 5 coins, but they're heavy. They take up a ton of room. Oops. And we are unscathed. Didn't pick up a ton of loot, but we weren't really going for the looting. We were just going for the water bottle, honestly. Well, there it is, guys. the large flask. You can make these with aluminum ingots, but you don't need to necessarily. The aluminum flask is a huge water container, and will of course allow you to carry a full campfire's worth of water at a time. And let's check on our yeah, there we go. Alright, we're going to set that to extract random, because we got our 2 cobalts. Boom, boom, and take those and add those. That is our saw bench. So unfortunately we didn't get a lot of actual building done. We'll have to do that next time. Too busy trying to fill the holes in our inventory, unfortunately. So next time we'll start using the saw bench. We'll start laying out foundations, figuring out where we want to put things, and then the episode after that we're going to go and find Mike, for better or worse. You can do all the things that you need to do without Mike, but Mike just makes it that much easier. And here at Shadow Gaming, we don't mind easy. Put that out. There we go. Alright. Well, that's going to do us for today, guys. Thank you for hanging out. And thank you for watching the video up to this point. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, drop me a like and a subscribe. And if you have any suggestions on, you know, layouts or buildings, you know, feel free to, you know, drop an idea down. I'll give you a shout out if I decide to use it. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.